Good evening to everyone. Thank you for joining us for our Temple Care Matter, the first Tuesday of every month. Amen. Good evening, National Baptist Conventions, US Inc. Welcome to this evening NBC USA Hope Health Webinar, Temple Care Matters. We acknowledge our national president, Dr. Boise Kimber. We also give a shout out to our National Hope Director, none other than Dr. Michael O'Miner. And I just happen to be Pastor Bernard Montgomery of the Bluff Spring Missionary Baptist Church, Assistant Director to Dr. Minor. Tonight, Hope webinar, introduction and monthly health focus summary. Welcome, beloved community, to this month denominational health and wellness webinar, a sacred space where faith meets compassion and awareness becomes action. As we journey through November, we pause to recognize lives uplifted, caregivers, and promote holistic well-being across our congregation. Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month calls us to shine a light on early detection and support, remembering those we've lost and standing with those still fighting. National Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month and National Caregiver Month reminds us of the power of memory, presence, and the faithful love of caregivers who walk the long road of support. American Diabetes Month invites our churches to be hubs of education, prevention, and compassionate care, especially in communities disproportionately affected. Purple Light Sunday, November 16th, offered a sacred moment of remembrance and hope of those impacted by pancreatic cancer. Great American Smokeout. Remember these dates, November the 20th, encourages us to breathe new life into our health journey by embracing tobacco-free living, supported by faith and fellowship. Together, let us continue to be bridges of healing, honor, and hope, rooted in love and led by the Spirit. Now we will bring our conductor, our director, Sister Lottie Meyer.
Hello, everybody. Welcome tonight. So glad to see you all. I am so glad to be here. I apologize. I was a few minutes behind, but guess what? I am a caregiver. So this particular topic tonight is near and dear to me. There may be some difficult moments as we talk about Alzheimer's. Because some difficult moments for me because the individual who I once cared for that is no longer with us suffered from dementia, which Alzheimer's is in the family with dementia. So, but we're gonna move on. I thank Pastor Montgomery for filling in for those few minutes while I was doing my caregiving duties, and I am going to make sure that I have all of my wares in front of me that Dr. Miner has left for me tonight. So again, thank you all for joining us. And as you all know, this webinar is part of our continuing First Tuesday Temple Care Matters series. And I'm sure Pastor Montgomery has already said it, but I'll repeat it. We are grateful for your ongoing support and engagement. So, Pastor Montgomery, am I correct that it's now time to talk about the triple-demic?
You sure are.
All right. I guesstimated right. So, it's time for our triple-demic update. And we know the triple-demic refers to COVID-19, the flu, and RSV. So, our respiratory illness update for 2019, for November 2025. So these three conditions, these three nasty little words, COVID-19, RSV, and the flu, as we realize that respiratory virus season is beginning, health experts are urging us to get our vaccinations in a timely manner to reduce hospitalizations and severe illness. COVID-19, RSV, and influenza are circulating at low to moderate levels, but cases are expected to rise in the coming weeks. COVID-19, let's talk about it for a minute. Updated vaccines targeting the XBB.1.5 and KP.2 variants show up to 68% effectiveness against hospitalization. Vaccination is recommended for adults who are 65 and older, children with underlying health conditions, and individuals who are immunocompromised. Pregnant people may receive COVID-19 vaccines during any trimester of their pregnancy. Researchers continue to study what happens to someone or when someone has COVID-19 a second time. And we know for some of us, it might be a second or a third time, depending upon what happened to us in the last few years. But later infections are generally milder than the first infection, but severe illnesses can still happen. So COVID can still be serious. RSV. A surge of RSV is impacting infants and older adults. Maternal vaccinations of pregnant women in weeks 32 through 36 weeks of gestation, and infant immunization with Nursvimab. That's Nirsvimab. Nursvimab. I may be putting my accent in the wrong place. That's why I spelled it. But those vaccinations are strongly advised. Adults 60 and older and those with chronic health conditions should also consider getting the RSV vaccine. Now, to talk about the flu. Influenza vaccines remain effective with 67% protection in children and 48% in adults. Annual flu shots are recommended for everyone 6 months old and older. The faith community can play a tremendous role in promoting vaccine access, education, and just compassionate care. We want faith community to encourage members to consult their healthcare providers and get vaccinated before the virus activity peaks. All right, so we're going to move on and talk about something else. On Saturday, open enrollment 2026 for the Affordable Care Act began. So that was an exciting time for us. It says Dr. Miner has an update, and I believe we have a nice little video from him regarding open enrollment 2026. Brother Duke, can you run that for us, sir?
We're going to post it on our Facebook page later on today,
Okay,
later
that's
on this
perfectly
evening.
fine. Thank you. So you all just be looking to our Facebook page a little bit later. Brother Duke, why don't we say we're gonna post it in the morning? How about that? I don't want you up all night posting stuff on the page.
Okay.
Is that all right with everybody? Okay, so we thank Dr. Miner. I don't see any thumbs up, but I feel like it's all right with you guys. We thank Dr. Miner in advance for the update. We know the information is going to be timely. It's going to be important information that we can use. Also, we urge you to go to www.healthcare.gov for more information on the Affordable Care Act, marketplace insurance, Obamacare, some people call it. All those words are used interchangeably, okay, but it is open enrollment. So, as we continue our journey through November's health focus, let's turn to another critical issue that's impacting our communities. November is Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. Each November, communities across the globe unite for Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. And that's a time to spotlight one of the deadliest cancers and advocate for early detection, research, and support. The 5-year survival rate of just 12 to 13%. Pancreatic cancer is often diagnosed late due to very vague symptoms. Awareness efforts focus on recognizing risk factors such as family history, smoking, diabetes, and age, and encouraging regular checkups with primary care providers. Organizations like PANCAN, and Project Purple offer free patient services, educational webinars, and fundraising campaigns to uplift survivors and their families. This year's theme, Shine a Light, invites churches and communities to wear purple, share stories, and promote life saving conversations about symptoms and screening. Purple Light Sunday is observed on November 16th. Okay. And that's a sacred moment within faith communities to lift up those affected by pancreatic cancer. Through prayer, remembrance, and purple themed worship, congregations can offer comfort, raise awareness, and affirm the commitment to health equity and compassionate care. Together, these observances remind us that even in the face of devastating illness, faith, community, and advocacy can light the way toward healing and hope. Now, for this month's featured observance, November is American Diabetes Month. And American Diabetes Month is a time to raise awareness and inspire action, especially in the Black community. An estimated 4.7% of Black adults in the United States have undiagnosed diabetes. Y'all, that's a huge number. Nearly 1 in 20. This rate is significantly higher than that of white adults, where that rate is only 2.7%, and it reflects deep disparities in access to screening, care, and education. According to the CDC's National Diabetes Statistics Report, Black Americans have the highest rate of undiagnosed diabetes among major racial groups, while 12.7% of Black adults report a formal diagnosis. An additional 4.7% meet clinical criteria for diabetes but are unaware of their status, of their condition. This means that more than 1 in 4 Black adults with diabetes are undiagnosed, placing them at a greater risk for complications like heart disease, kidney failure, and vision loss. Faith communities can play a vital role in closing this gap by promoting culturally relevant education, hosting screenings, and encouraging early detection. Incentives like NBC USA's United for Wellness are designed to address these disparities with compassion, clarity, and community rooted care. You may go to our website, www.hopenbc.com, to download an overview of our NBC USA's United for Wellness, the NBC USA response to diabetes. To share more about NCH War on Diabetes, we're fortunate to have as our guest panelist tonight Michael Fletcher. Michael Fletcher is the CEO and founder of New Covenant Healthcare and Healthcare Diagnostics. These are two organizations that singularly focus on advancing the war on diabetes in the Black church. Through innovative partnerships with faith-based communities, Mr. Fletcher has built a national model that combines precision diagnostics, pharmacogenomic testing.
Pretty
Try
good.
to say that 3 times fast. And Medicare compliant outreach to combat diabetes and related chronic conditions within the Black community. Y'all, he's fighting the sugar. Not sugar, the sugar in the can that we open, but no, we call it sugar. He's trying to help us fight the sugar. I had to put that in everyday terms. His leadership bridges healthcare, technology, and community engagement, empowering churches to become centers of education, early detection, and preventive care in this fight against one of the nation's most pervasive health disparities. So thank you, Mr. Fletcher, for being with us tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That
Yes.
was an amazing. I've told Dr. Miner this, and I was telling Pastor Montgomery a little bit. I'm a West Coast guy, and I have been stunned in the last 4 years by the African American churches South and you all's professionalism and just solving of problems. It's amazing and it's touching and I have a rule with all my pastor partners. I won't cuss in their office. But one day when we're not at a church event, I'll tell you how just crazy amazing it is, and it's uplifting because I this battle, when I hear statistics like 4.5% of African Americans don't know they have diabetes, that's just a falsehood. It's probably 40%.
Oh my God.
We've done testing in 4 different churches in LA. We have an obesity rate of 91%. The statistics are clear that if you are obese, 49% of people will then have diabetes just as they sit there. I tell people that we want to talk about, what white people do and talk about this and that. What we should talk about is saving African American lives
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
diabetes. And Sister Minor, you were talking about a history of dementia and Alzheimer's. I thought you were going to take my lead on type 3 diabetes, which
Oh
is
my.
dementia and Alzheimer's. And it is destroying us as a
Wow.
community. And so, kind of the genesis of my company, I've worked in African American churches for 30 years. I ran the first campaign to elect the first African American mayor of Kansas City, Reverend Emmanuel Cleaver.
Wow.
Worked in black churches forever, and it's a privilege in many ways because I've also had the opportunity to work with what I call real black leaders.
Hmm.
This idea that these politicians who are out there today, almost none of whom are African American ministers, are going to solve anything is patently untrue. It has to come through African American churches, and it has to come through real African American churches. Churches where a pastor walks out and solves problems. And what you all are doing is extraordinary. I would bet you are the only church that has the type of health outreach and structure in such a structured manner. It's amazing. Dr. Miner has been incredible, and so what we're doing, and I have a 16-year-old I have to pick up in 30 minutes, so I'll try to be quick. What we decided to do, Bishop Mark Tolbert of the Pentecostals Assembly of the World came to me and said, I want to find something that I can dedicate the rest of my career to as a pastor. And he said, figure out what that should be, Mike. I've worked with Bishop Tolbert and for again 30 years. I've worked with AME forever. And I said, let me think about it. And I did some thinking and it came down to diabetes. And it really comes down as a related issue is obesity. We
Hmm.
as African Americans, and it's funny, Sister Minor, you said the sugar. We have deluded ourselves for decades with phraseology like the sugar,
Hmm.
and it is destroying our families. It is 17% of every person with diabetes develops blindness. The
Mm.
percentages of African Americans losing limbs, wound care, it's just bizarre. And the statistic that's hurtful is that African American children have the highest incidence of childhood diabetes in America. There is I won't get his name right, but he's an Indian doctor, and he said, I would rather have HIV AIDS than diabetes because HIV AIDS is treatable with just a single pill. Diabetes slowly destroys your life, and the burdens it places on your family are stunning. And we as African Americans, particularly female African American caregivers in our families, we just treat this this ongoing burden, and I don't mean that in a bad way,
Hmm.
taking care of diabetes patients in our families, people who have diabetes, the cost, the economic cost of treating diabetes because of family members is estimated to be $8 billion a year. And that's just because I can't go to work because my mother is sick or my father is sick or they're in a wheelchair. This is a problem that is 98%, at least with type 2 diabetes, 98% can be solved. And Bishop Tolbert said, come up with this plan. I came up with a plan. I met with some of the largest companies in America and said, we want to be able to address this. And they said, test, 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 because the numbers of people who have no idea that they have diabetes is jaw dropping. It's stunning. One more stunning statistic is 50% of African Americans die of a diabetes related ailment. That is how big this is. But here's the beautiful thing about it, this is 100%, at least in the church community, within our control. Black churches can do anything, and Black churches put in a position where Black ministers can actually lead and can deliver the moral message, which is, by the way, it's not just diabetes, it's weight. It's our
Mhm.
horrible diet. And this is so I've lost 55 pounds. And I did it because I
God.
said, I have a 16-year-old. And
Yeah.
when you start looking into this, it's just clear what we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
African American churches must lead it, because if you all don't, then it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to be some politician that they'll do whatever, corporations tell them to do. It's not going to be some rapper or some singer. It has to be African American ministers.
Mm-hmm.
And African American ministers, you have this unique power to do extraordinary things. But what we need to do is extraordinary. It is extraordinary. This is up to us. And so I started New Covenant Healthcare, and then we started Healthcare Diagnostics as a partnership, because here's the other part of this. Medicare, Medicaid pays if you have type 2 diabetes, if you have groups of related healthcare issues, you get free Medicare treatment from Medicare, Medicaid. They just announced, and this is, and again, I hate to say anything positive about our current person in office,
Mm.
but they announced today that they are going to expand GLP-1. It's, those are the weight loss drugs, to Medicaid and Medicare patients. That would be extraordinary for us. The New York Times did a piece yesterday saying the rate of obesity has fallen 6% in 2 years. The only community it hasn't fallen is in the African American community. And part of that is because we don't, some of us do, but huge percentages of us can't afford the $169 a month cost. If this, if these GLP-1s are made available and we're able to distribute them through churches, with the pastor talking to the congregation saying, we have to control our lives, we could literally save thousands of lives a year. We could fundamentally change who we are. And the part I like about it, and I get gangster and angry about stuff, and I'm gonna try to do it less because Pastor Montgomery's being nice. But it's so much of where we are is because we have allowed ourselves to be put
Yes.
here.
Yes.
And that the reason I love this war, and when we started the war on diabetes in the Black church, everyone said to me, "Oh, that's too hard and that's too this." I'm like, "Who? First of all, who are you? When we have consultants. When have you been in a Black church? I've been in Black churches. I've run campaigns with Black churches for 30 years. But trust me, ministers are going to talk frankly and honestly, and we can be frank with each other. What we need is honesty and directness. This effort, if we do it correctly, can fundamentally change people's lives. And so what we were able to structure, and we've structured, is we get healthcare paid for, the diagnostic costs paid for, we get the follow-up healthcare paid for, and it's not from a grant, it's from Medicare, Medicaid, which we are fundamentally entitled to. African Americans utilize 4% of available government programs that we've paid for. 4%. One of the things that just stunned me in this whole journey is that you can get up to 24 months of hospice care. Hospice care is another one of these issues where we as Black people, Black mothers and grandfathers, they just take care of it. At the average time a Caucasian takes for hospice care is 13 months. The average payment for African Americans, 8 days. 8 days. Hospice care is stunning in what it can do. When you are caring for, as you all know, when you're caring for someone who's dying, it is hard. It is hard. Hospice care pays for food, it pays for in-home health care and things like that. All of these things are available to us. And so what we try to do at New Covenant Healthcare is to say, let us take care of ourselves. Let us let us focus on what's important to us, which is us. Let us take back from, and again, I told Pastor Montgomery, I'm half white. I have nothing against white people. We we have to take back from Caucasians those things that positively and negatively impact us. We can't put it in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
Can't, because they don't care. And I don't mean that in a bad way. They shouldn't care. We should care. What this does and what we've done in the war on diabetes in the Black church, I said, let's just do it because we can control this. What we're able to do is put the funds back into the churches, back into the communities. And if this new GLP-1 legislation passes through, we could do extraordinary things working with people like the National Baptist Convention USA, where it's like, listen, guys, if we do one single round of testing, you get home health care, you get GLP-1s, and those things, right? We structurally take it, we say, here are the things that are killing us. We then take control of them and put them back into the community, and we do it at no cost to anybody. That's what we're trying to do. I've worked with Dr. Miner. He's been amazing. He
Yeah.
and I have, I mean, you guys, I've been bragging about you guys to very, very respectfully to my friends, where I'm like, you people are crazy here. I mean, it is what you guys have in place is amazing. And we want to work with you. Looking forward to it. Michael and I have tried to do a couple events. The shutdown has stopped all federal testing, but that's okay. The minute it opens up, we'll be back at it. We would love to partner with you all. We would love to find a way to broaden this impact. For example, there is an end. You are entitled to, under Medicare, Medicaid, 4 telehealth visits a year. Well, you know how we are. We won't go to the doctor, and the opportunities that are available to us are almost none. Well, but what we will do, wait a minute, I can get an actual visit, a telehealth checkup 4 times a year. Yes. And I can get that at no cost to myself. Yes. And I can get that with a competent doctor who actually knows what he or she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Those are things that when we reach out to the National Baptist Convention or to the Pentecostals Assembly of the World, when we put our efforts together, when we have 25 million African Americans and 2,000 and 20,000 churches, when we do that, we can increase those availabilities to something more. But we have to work together, and
Mm-hmm.
we have to, and it starts with diabetes, and the Alzheimer's thing is, Sister Miner, as you know, it's horrifying. It's horrifying. 40% of, if you are African American and you have diabetes, you are 40% more likely to get dementia than a similarly situated Caucasian. 40%. Well, if 50% of African Americans have diabetes, that tells you that 20% of African Americans are going to be confronted with dementia slash Alzheimer's, which again, I think is type 3 diabetes, in our lifetime. That is extraordinary. We should anticipate that and start planning for that. So there's all of these things that are available. There is this battle is, I, I'm stoked about it. I mean, it's amazing to think about what we can do. And the great thing about it is it's us as African Americans. The funding is directly tied to participation. That funding is guaranteed. we've structured it so that, for example, there's certain testing that has to happen, and we have a network of doctors that do it. And because we're African American, and because we've been down this path 1,000 times with white people, we cross every T and dot every I.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's fine. We'll do it, because the reward at the end of this is we could not only help our kids and help our churches, we could restore back into the community what I believe, and I mean this respectfully, Pastor Montgomery, is, and I've said it, and I tell you, I mean, I have the bona fides of some of the most important ministers in America will say, well, Michael can say that. African American ministers must 100% return to leadership in the Black community. And frankly, they've let us down. And this opportunity starts with African American ministers saying, we've had it. These are my congregants. These are my congregants' children, and we're going to take control of this. It is an extraordinary opportunity that is in front of us. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about taking control of our lives and improving things and not having to ask Caucasians for it. And so thank you for letting me come today. I, again, I brag about you guys.
Thank you.
And what you do is amazing.
Mhm. Wow, wow, that was awesome. You covered a lot of ground.
Wasn't too angry, was I? All
No, not at all, not
right,
at
good,
all.
good.
You
I've
have a
been
lot
working
of
on
you have a lot of African American females on this call, so we are sometimes called angry black women. So we speak your language. We speak your language completely, and I think it is time for us to get angry about some things. To be a little to show a little righteous indignation about some of the ways that we've been treated. So I agree with your anger. I feel it, and it's important. It's rightly placed. So what I want to do before you go pick up your 16-year-old, I want to.
Actually, she just turned 17 2
Oh
days ago. So
wow.
I should
Okay.
probably tell her to call her 17.
Well, happy belated birthday to her.
Let's hope
But
she makes it to 18 without her father strangling her, but that's a whole other issue.
you'll make it. You will make it. Um,
Wow, been there.
And she's my baby too. My oldest one was one. They're just different. Let's just put it that way. This one is. Oof.
we've been there 3 times, so we understand.
Oof.
Yeah. So let's see if there are anything else that you want to share with us any almost closing remarks, almost closing.
Let me say this: is
We open
Dr.
the
Miner and
floor.
I have been working. We have several programs that we're working on, and one of them, it's just outreach to churches. We can put into churches $2,500 per church for hosting a testing event. Other people can't do that. We do it because what it's technically marketing funding. And one of the just requirements I have when I do business with any businesses, particularly as they relate to African American churches, is the church must participate, has to participate. We're not here to do things for free. And so we have not just that component, and a lot of churches, $2,500 is meaningful.
Yeah.
But it's also uh, it's the healthcare that we're going to be able to provide. It's the follow up that we're going to be able to provide, and it's the caveat is you will never have any of our doctors, anyone ask for a penny, because our position is it's Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance, and we've simply negotiated deals that make sure that it works. The fundamental part, though, is we have to test people. We have a goal of 1 million diabetes tests. People say you can't do it. I say, watch,
Yes.
watch us. And so Dr. Miner will update you with more. Just it's really important. This diabetes issue and relatedly high blood pressure, but it's diabetes. It's just the mortality rate on diabetes with African Americans is just it's stunning. You all have seen it. You particularly the caregivers and who are there, they see it. They see the bed sores. It's Bishop Mark Tober had a line. He said, it's weird. He says you get diabetes and they take off a toe, and then they take off a second toe, and then they take off a third toe, and then a fourth toe, and then all your toes, and then a quarter of your foot, then half your foot, and then half your legs. He says it seems like they would want to stop it when it was just one toe, which they could do.
Sure.
And the ramifications of that are scary, but I think it's true. I think that they don't want us to treat diabetes. I, that's what I believe. That's what I believe.
Wow. Wow. That's rich. That is rich, Mr.
Ask your healthcare providers about it. Ask them how many patients they've seen who've lost it, or it starts with a little teeny ulcer, and they just simply won't treat it. 60,000 people die a year of bed sores. A third of those are African American. Bed sores are 100% preventable.
Mm-hmm.
We just simply have to take control of our lives, and a partnership with African American churches is absolutely key, or it won't work. It can't. It has to be through Black churches.
Mm-hmm. Amen. I totally agree. And I think that our churches across the nation will probably agree. I see in the chat already, some of our constituents are asking when you're coming to their cities. We have
Dr. Miner and I, we had a whole thing worked out, and then your president closed down the country. Uh, but it's going to. We are ready to go,
Yes, sir.
and you'll be very happy with the way it plays out, because it's exceedingly professional. It's exceedingly well done, and again, it doesn't cost people one penny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's fabulous. That is a blessing. Um, I do have, I think, a few people that want to ask you questions. I know that your time is a little bit limited, so I'm gonna try to take a few questions. I see some in the chat. Brother Duke, do we have any on Facebook?
I'm checking now.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead with the ones I see in the chat. Sister Brian, I won't ask your question because I think we already know that all that depends on the government shutdown. Her question was about bringing your initiative to Miami. So, Lady Bryant, we'll just wait and see what happens on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Brian, I went to law school at the University of Miami, so sooner the better. So
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Let me say this as we getting ready to observe some of the questions. Uh, there are going to be some objectives once this gets ironed out from the government. So let's be patient with the process, and there will be again objectives and criteria that we will have to meet. So let's not put as they say, the cart before the horse. And we're going to be open to wherever that we need to do to get this done.
And by the way, Pastor Montgomery, Dr. Mine and I, we're operational. It's once the government reopens, then we'll start. We have a couple scheduled already that we're going to roll into, but we're looking to be in communities within 30 days after the shutdown closes or opens.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. That's very good. I see that Brother Clarence Campbell down in South Haven, Mississippi, has his hand up. I don't know if that was a computer slip up, if perhaps he raised his hand in error. Brother Campbell, would you like to unmute? Okay, I think he took his hand down. All right.
It looked like Miss Ford put up a question that was about.
Okay.
Did I get? Of course, I don't have my glasses on, so
I do
it
see
could
it.
be Miss anybody. So
No, I do see it. It's this is Miss Vernajo or Vernajo Ford. She says most of us do not see a podiatrist who can check for many foot problems and most insurance coverage. So she just made a statement basically about the importance of seeing a podiatrist to look at those foot ulcers and foot problems.
podiatrists generally, though, are dealing with structural bone issues. The foot ulcer is just a simple exam that you and I could diagnose a foot ulcer.
Hmm.
They you again, it's 100. If anything that's 100% treatable, That's how that speaks to its diagnosability.
Sure.
They simply don't treat them. They overlook them. The
Hmm.
statistics are just, if Jewish people, I should know that, if certain other religions were dying at this rate, it would be, a national tragedy.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, Sister Patricia Randall has stated, as related to diabetes, we African Americans also have responsibility. Okay, she's kind of repeating what you said, a responsibility to prevent and control. So I think that's an amen from the pews on that.
Which we can help, by the way. That's where the GLP-1s are so
Mhm.
helpful. They are stunning. I think it was this Tuesday. I work every day, so I don't know if it's Tuesday or Thursday, but I
I
think it was
think it's
Friday.
Tuesday.
They this study came out talking about the diminishment in obesity, and it directly tied it to the GLP-1s, except in the African American community, which
Mhm.
statistically ties back to a lack of availability.
Sure.
It's, for some people it's easier to control your weight, but for some people it's really hard. And if you live in a food desert where your eating options are limited, it's hard to get away from highly processed foods, and that's where the GLP-1s are amazing.
Hmm.
So I agree that yes, we have a responsibility, but it's also, I grew up in South Central LA with a single father family, and uh, it's tough. It's tough making food choices. If we could give people some help, it will really matter.
Hmm. Very good. And I think also it may be difficult, even if you're not in a food desert, if you just have a busy lifestyle and not everybody can afford those little packaged meals that they talk about on TV. So, how does the person that has two jobs and maybe they're a caregiver, how do they figure out ways to eat healthy? Because they lack the time. They may have the resources, but not the time.
Or Sister Martin, think about it. Even if it's not two jobs, you know how it is. It's like you just got off work. It's 5:15. You're
Hmm.
driving home. You got to make dinner. You got to do this. It becomes easy to say, I'm just going to pull them right here and get this. And it's that, and it's weird how the dynamics, the comorbidities apply. Is if you are working hard, trying to support your family, working hard because you're successful, it just feeds into this negative loop of
It does.
difficult decisions. And but again, that's why church related issues are important too, because part of this is just stress and not living our lives appropriately.
Hmm.
It's that whole approach that really helps.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that. Duke, any other questions on Facebook? Okay. I think we're good on that. So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Dr. Fletcher, I had an opportunity to go to the Eli Lilly Research Foundation in Indianapolis. They have a what they call a diabetes wall, and there was one person there that had lived with diabetes for 75 years.
Wow.
And I thought that was amazing that a person could manage their diabetes for that long period of time. So it is manageable, but there's a lot of things that may interfere with that, as Sister might have talked about as you as well. Care provider, working two jobs. So some things are stressful, and you got to rest somewhere in between that. So it would take a lot of energy and effort on the part, especially if you're aware of what's going on with you when it comes to diabetes.
And I think that was type 1 diabetes treatment, because that can be more of a long-term care. The 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 data on type 2 diabetes is pretty horrible. Particularly again, the study on African American kids having the highest incidence of childhood obesity or diabetes is stunning, because we helped Pentecostal Assembly of the World get I think it was a $12 million grant from Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly is a good company, but the truth is they're happy to also provide medication for 40 years. And that's fine too. I tell people this: you can badmouth these huge pharmaceutical companies. I used to do it. Now I'm on their side, because here's the truth: we need the help. We need the diagnostic testing. If you want me to say, if you're some huge pharmaceutical company and you'll give our churches GLP-1s at cost, then I'm with you. We have to attack it from every direction we can. Our real focus is pre-diabetes. It's just one of the reasons we say test. The best way to not get to treat diabetes is don't get it. And pre-diabetes is one you would be stunned. I mean, people are stunned when they find out they're pre-diabetic. Well, that's a unique opportunity to take some immediate action, which ties directly again back into pastors. If pastors stand up in church and say, here are the roadblocks, here's what we're going to do, people will listen to that. People won't listen to a doctor saying it, but if a pastor says, if you have pre-diabetes, we're going to treat that because I want, as Mark Tolbert said, I want you to come to church and tithe. And there was one of my favorite lines, but he said, but I really want you to come to church because you need to be in church, not in the hospital. That's what this is about. It's not, I'm going to go cheer for the Chiefs, or I'm going to pick someone. No, are you going to come to church? Are you going to be able to come to church? Are you going to be able to go to your kid's graduation? That's what this is about. And the powerful thing is we can control this. You tell me the last thing that we as African Americans have had the ability to control in our lives. Tell me the last thing. It's probably voting rights. And that wasn't even necessarily in our control. It was probably electing President Obama. We had the ability to do that. But other than that, I can't think of anything. This one is right. This is right where it counts. It's family. It's highly subject to pastoral influence. And it's just being tough. We as African Americans are tough. We can do a lot of stuff. We just need people to, instead of calling it the sugar, we need to start telling them, no, that's diabetes. And that diabetes is going to make you go blind. You want to be blind? No, I don't want to be blind. Well, good. Let's do something about it.
Yeah, yeah. I see one great question in the chat. How do people who don't have Medicaid or Medicare handle the cost? I know you said that there's funding from pharmaceutical companies, but how does that work for the individual who does
Well,
not have
here's
coverage?
what's important. And Sister Minor, you brought this up. The ACA opened today.
Mhm.
You can go register, and Obamacare it's not just amazing, it's fantastically amazing. Obamacare is great. Go register right now is the best way to do it. It's available. There are other programs available, but please, that's another thing we did. New Covenant Healthcare. We have notifications to people saying, go register. It's literally free, and it's pretty good healthcare. Go register.
Mhm, mhm. Thank you. Thank you. All right. That's about all the time that we have, and you have been just absolutely awesome. The information has been um it's been rich. This has been really deep. We will continue to answer questions during our extended Q&A later on. And let's all just remember that faith communities can lead the way. Mr. Fletcher
You
has said
can't lead the way. They have to lead the
we
way.
must lead the way.
We don't have that. We literally, and you know the data. We
Mm,
don't have this. We don't have that option of suggesting other alternatives. It has to be ministers. It
yeah,
has to.
yeah, because we listen to whoever's, well, most of us listen to whomever our faith leader is.
Right.
So absolutely true.
Plus,
So,
then we get to blame it on the ministers if it all messes up. So
so we
it's a
blame them
win-win.
anyway. So we blame them anyway. But doing this is going to help us get the screenings done, as you've mentioned. It's going to help us learn healthy habits. And it's going to help us learn a little more about compassionate care. I call it patient-centered care,
Yep.
because we got to
100%.
believe in ourselves having the ability to do better and to get better. So together we can break the cycles of inequity and health disparities, and just build a future for where Black families can thrive in health and wholeness. So thank you so very much for sharing with us tonight. Um, Phenomenal information. Just good statistics. Sometimes the statistics don't resonate because you get a bunch of numbers in your head, but you've made it very clear to us, and we appreciate you and the work that you do.
Good. And thank you guys, and thank you to Dr. Miner. I keep bragging about him now. He's
Okay.
probably gonna use that against me, but uh, he's amazing. And as I said, we're working on multiple projects,
Okay.
and this is important work. All
Mhm.
right, I have to go grab my kid. She's probably in the corner smoking a cigarette or something.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bye-bye. All right, guys, we're gonna keep moving. Um, I see in the chat somebody mentioned um the good RX cards to help with the price of prescriptions. And there are many things that are out there to help with the cost of prescriptions, not only the GLP drugs, but other things as well. Just to touch on the Affordable Care Act, I know Mr. Fletcher did mention on the end that it is free. That's not always the case. It depends on the subsidies that someone receives. Every individual does not get subsidies or cost sharing reductions. It depends on income and family size. And we know that with the changes that are currently being made in the federal government, those discounted prices are not going to be as deeply discounted as they were before. Yet and still, the Affordable Care Act is a very, very valuable option for insurance for everyone, people with diabetes or those who don't have it. So we're going to move on now and talk about National Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month and National Caregiver Month. Our National Caregiver Month overview. That's another focus for the month of November. And these focuses invite us to reflect on the sacred gift of memory and the quiet heroism of those who preserve it. National Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month shines a light on the millions affected by memory loss, especially in Black communities where diagnosis often comes late and support is under-resourced. It's a call to educate, advocate, and uplift those navigating the complexities of dementia with dignity and grace. And y'all, this is really hard for me. Alongside it, National Caregiver Month. Pastor Montgomery. Okay, he's not there. I was going to ask him to just read this, but I'm going to continue. National Caregiver Month recognizes the faithful companions, spouses, children, friends, nieces, and church members who walk the long road of support. Their love is sacrificial, their presence healing, and their labor often unseen. In our congregations, caregivers embody Christ-like compassion, offering comfort in the face of confusion and hope in the midst of decline. Together, these observances remind us that memory is more than cognition, it's connection. And caregiving is more than duty, it's discipline. Discipleship, it's discipleship. Let us continue to build ministries that educate, embrace, and empower so no one walks this journey alone. We're not going to field questions on that one right now. We're going to move on and talk about Sisters Against Breast Cancer. So we're pleased again to welcome Lady Estella Bryant, the National Chair of Sisters Against Breast Cancer. And as a reminder, we know that Lady Bryant serves as the First Lady of Antioch Baptist Church in Liberty City, in the Liberty City neighborhood of beautiful Miami, Florida, where her husband, Dr. Jimmy Bryant, is the senior pastor. Lady Bryant wants to share special thanks for our second Sisters Against Breast Cancer observance. And I think she has a participation award that she wants to share. So, Lady Bryant, you have the floor.
Good evening, Sister Minor. I just want to make sure you can hear me. I just got my computer out of the shop.
Yes, ma'am. We hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. Okay. Good evening to everyone. And on the behalf of our convention president, Dr. Boise Kimber, and our Hope director, Dr. Michael O. Minor, we want to thank each and every one of you for making year 2 Sisters Against Breast Cancer observance another success. We all participated in our Sisters Walk on October 25th, and we look forward to next year being even bigger and better as we continue to fight this awful disease called breast cancer. And now, tonight, I'm pleased to announce the 2025 Participation Award winner. Brother Duke, can we get a drum roll? And will you reveal our 2025 winner for this year? Florida East Coast?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, y'all kept that as a secret to me.
Yes, ma'am. Congratulations.
Getting ready to present the presentation to the winner, and I'm looking for the association. Oh my God, Florida East Coast Baptist Association is the winner for our Sisters Walk for 2025. Dr. Sister Minor, I'm not sure because I'm on the guest panelist and I can't see the other individuals on here. My husband is downstairs. He was on.
Okay.
And he is the board chair of the Florida East Coast Baptist Association. So if he's on tonight, I would like for him to be the one to accept this presentation. And he did walk. He led our walk this year.
He is on.
He's
Did I just
on.
unmute?
I can't see him on mine.
You are not muted, sir. Go right ahead and speak.
Okay. Good afternoon, certainly, and I want to take this time to say thank you, certainly to our Hope Auxiliary, National Baptist Convention USA, Dr. Boise Kimber, Dr. Michael Minor, to everyone else. I want to accept this award for my moderator, Reverend Dr. Toby T. Philpott, and certainly for my hardworking wife, who makes sure these things take place. And I'm sure I could say this to you, Mrs. Minor, like your husband would say. Certainly, when she does it, I'm the shadow. So we enjoyed doing it, and I'm so grateful. And that next year it'll be bigger and better. Trying to get the word out, trying to let folk know that as Dr. Fletcher was saying earlier, that we need to learn how to help ourselves. So thank you so much for all the Florida East Coast Missionary Baptist Association for the award for this year's Sisters Sisters Award. We appreciate that 100%.
That is wonderful. Congratulations, you all.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you all.
That is just super. Yeah. Job well done. Job well done. All right. So thank you, Sister Bryant, for presenting and sharing with us a little bit about what happened this year. Before we close, we want to share 1 November Health and Wellness Spotlight, the American Cancer Society Great American Smokeout, and the Great American Smokeout. Observed on Thursday, November 20th, is a national call to quit smoking and reclaim health, starting with just one day. Hosted annually by the American Cancer Society on the third Thursday of November, the Great American Smokeout empowers individuals to begin their journey toward a smoke-free life. While quitting smoking is never easy, this event reminds us that every step counts and that support, planning, and community do make a difference. Smoking remains the leading preventable cause of death in the United States, contributing to over 480,000 deaths annually and increasing the risk of at least 12 types of cancer. Black communities, low-income populations, and those facing systemic barriers are disproportionately affected by tobacco-related illnesses. The Smokeout encourages participants to make a quit plan, connect with quit lines, and explore FDA approved medications that can double or triple their chances of success at quitting. Churches, schools, and health ministries can host awareness events, share testimonies, and offer spiritual and emotional support. Whether you're quitting for the first time or supporting someone, the Great American Smokeout is a powerful reminder. Freedom from tobacco is possible and worth it. Let this be your day one. As we look ahead, we want to invite everybody to join us in Nashville on December 1st through 3rd, 2025 for the Sunday School Publishing Board Annual Educators Conference. Some of us know it, if we've been around a long time, we know it as the December Conference. And we want you to please, if you attend that conference, stop by our booth to learn more about the impactful work of the NBC USA Hope team. Additionally, remember that Health Ambassador training is important. We still do training, and to receive credit towards your NBC USA Hope Health certification, there's 3 steps that you need to follow to receive your credit. Number 1, you want to email info@hopenbc.com to register. Okay. Number 2, you want to request a copy of the lesson training guide. Number 3, you want to complete the training survey, and the survey website is listed on your screen. I'm going to try to read it off, but it's https://hopenbc.com/training-survey. That was a mouthful. So I ask that you screenshot what you see there on the screen, or if you were able to jot it down while I was speaking. Those are your 3 steps. On step number 3, you want to make sure you include in the subject line of your email, listen to this, it should say NBC USA Hope Health Ambassador Training. I'll say that again. That's what's going to get our attention in the email. We field all the emails, but if we see that in the subject line, we'll know it's directly related to Health Ambassador certification. So it should say NBC USA Hope Health Ambassador Training. All right. Once again, our November health observances: Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month, National Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month, and National Caregiver Month, American Diabetes Month, Pancreatic Cancer Purple Light Sunday, November 16th, an American Cancer Society Great American Smokeout, November 20th. So let's continue to move forward in faith, health, and service. All right. If you want a list of all the health observances, you can go to our website, www.hope.com. You can explore more at our website. You can get additional helpful resources. If you have questions, you can email us, info@hopenbc.com. All right, yeah, we have covered a lot, and we did it fairly quickly. So if there are additional questions, we want you to go ahead and raise your hand, your virtual hand. I don't see any hands up right now. I think Sister Carper is helping me watch, or type it in the chat. And also Dr. Carper and Brother Duke are both watching social media for comments. All right. If there are any questions, again, go ahead and type those now. I see Dr. Brian has his hand up. Go ahead and unmute Dr. Brian and ask your question.
Actually, I was just going to put something in the chat. I don't have a question.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay.
No, thank you.
Let's see. Our brother H.O.P.E wants to know if this is available for replay. I know it's available on social media, Facebook. I don't know if this particular Zoom broadcast, Brother Duke, can you address that?
This is broadcast will be on our YouTube page and as well as our Facebook page if you want to look at it again. And I will drop the link to our YouTube in the chat now.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Guys, thank you for your comments. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for being so very, very attentive to all this information that was offered. We appreciate you for that. Our next Temple Care Matters webinar will be Tuesday, December the 9th. We certainly want you to join us for that. Our December observances will uplift, educate, and empower our communities. And there are 5 of them. Number 1 is the National Drunk and Drugged Driving 3D Prevention. It's just simply asking people to make sober choices and drive safely all the time, but particularly during the holidays. And faith leaders are going to share some strategies to protect lives and promote responsibility. We're not going to be naive enough to think that people in the household of faith don't drink. So we just want to keep them safe during the holidays if they are drinking. The second observance is World AIDS Day on December 1st. That's a day set aside to recognize those we've lost and recommit to compassion, education, and justice in fighting HIV and AIDS. Our third observance for the month of December is National Influenza Vaccination Week, December 8th through 12th. It's just a push for people to get their flu shots, people of all ages, but particularly elderly, children, and those with chronic conditions. Our fourth observance, National Volunteer Blood Donor Month. That's like our January preview. It's celebrating the life-saving heroes that donate blood and preparing churches to host blood drives in the upcoming year. So it's kind of like prep work for the new year. And then finally, the fifth one is 2026 suggested health and wellness observances. This is not a December observance. This is just an observation. We want you to know that you can get a sneak peek at next year's calendar in our next call, and you can learn how to integrate monthly themes into your ministry, outreach, and wellness planning. So everybody, let's come together, reflect, respond, renew our commitment to the whole person wellness, whole person Trinity wellness. That is what we are working towards. Again, you can join us on social media, our webpage, our Facebook page, and on YouTube. We do appreciate all the feedback that you give us. We use that to get better. So if you would kindly complete our survey, that would help us a whole lot. And it is pasted. It's not yet, but it will be pasted in our chat so that you can tell us how we did. That's very important information for us, okay? Finally, we want to express our appreciation to the tireless work of our Hope team, Dr. Michael Miner, Dr. Desi Levy, yours truly, Lottie Miner, Sister Nettie Johnson, Pastor Dexter Moraney, Sister Ella McKnight Hill, Dr. Felisa Washington, Minister Geraldine Moore, Sister Loretta Miller, Dr. Lavore Williams, Sister Bettina Campbell, Dr. Marion Talley, Sister Ophelia Carr, Dr. Linda Carper, Brother Thomas Duke Robertson. I hope I did not miss anybody. Pastor Bernard Montgomery, of course, and we're going to mention him and Sister Carper again because they are two of our regional coordinators. Pastor Montgomery, Southwest Region 1, Sister Linda Carper, Dr. Linda Carper, Southwest Region 2. Pastor Daniel Blackburn is the Northeast. Sister Brooklyn Rogers is the Southeast. Sister Teresa Fales Farr is the coordinator for the Midwest. Sister Tafara Robinson, coordinator for the West. And finally, Pastor Richmond Johnson, the Far West. If you would like to connect with your regional coordinator, again, you're going to email us at that same email, info@hope.com. All right, y'all, this has been jam-packed tonight. Again, we thank you for joining us. We thank you for your patience with us. We know that a few people may have additional questions or comments. So we're going to formally close tonight's TempleCare Matters webinar in just a moment. For those of you who are watching us on Zoom, we're going to open the mics for you for brief additional feedback. We know a few people on our call may be in a different time zone, so we don't want to prolong the time. But again, we will see you next Tuesday, December 9th, approximately a month from now, at 7:30 p.m. Central Time for our next TempleCare Matters webinar. Before we close, we want to spotlight our president, Dr. Boise Kimber, who always reminds us that we are changing the course, not our convention. The gospel still works. This has been a production of the National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated, the nation's most collaborative religious denomination. May God continue to bless our bodies, minds, and spirits as we walk in wellness and wisdom together. God bless you all.